Welcome back to Daily Persuasion. I'm Joshua Lisec. I am the New York Times bestselling author and co-author, ghostwriter of more than 90 books, and a professional hypnotist. It's through my unique experience stack I curate the day's news so that you can better influence the VIPs of your life and career. Now, we are hearing more and more, let's say, diminutive terminology used to describe the left. Everything from leftoid to commie libs to expletive libs to lib expletives, so on and so forth. And while all these are fun, I think cultural Marxist is the most accurate description of someone who's far left or is a vector and is infected with the woke mind virus. But they can hear us. They can hear us when we talk about them. And I want to give you something that will help frame for you how to talk about them, even if they can hear you. And that is one that allows you to treat them with the dignity that they deserve, but also the dignity that they have earned, if you know what I mean. And that term is Libby. What Libby's believe, I was talking with Libby the other day. Libby, short, of course, for liberal. What does it sound like? Well, it's a girl's name, obviously, but it's like a little girl's name. It's childly. It's a childly descriptor. You get it now, right? That's the point. You're human beings, people with the woke mind virus, cultural Marxists. They are indeed human beings. They're, and first and foremost, the victim of the virus first. They may be a carrier of it, but they are also a victim. I think the woke mind virus is helpful for us in terms of thinking about how to quarantine them, but they also need treatment. I have lots of videos on this channel about how to talk to liberals so that they can actually listen. Please go check those out. And Libby reminds us that while they are indeed human beings, they have the emotional regulation and the critical thinking skills of a tiny tot. So we don't take them serious. We don't take them personal. We love them. But we have to make the adult decision. And that is the reframe that a lot of people need, I think, when they're used to leftists in their lives and in the culture being the ones who decide what's okay and what's not okay. For example, it used to be that you could accuse a Republican of being racist, and then they would go donate a bunch of money to Black Lives Matter to show you how not racist they are. And then they would host a Black History Month dinner, and then have an anti-racist training session. I'm exaggerating slightly, but look at my black friend over here. I'm going to have black people all in the front row next time I talk at one of my events. I'm going to do all these things that prove how not racist I am. Right? Oh, well, only a racist would do that. So you're accused of the thing. It's like, jump how high? And then, well, that wasn't very high. You can't jump. I'll jump higher next time. So it is like Lucy pulling away the football with Charlie Brown every single time. This is what they do every single time. You don't have to play that way anymore. But you also don't have to be attacking. You don't have to be antagonistic. You don't have to be mean. You can simply understand that you're the adult. If you are on the right, you are the adult. That is the correct frame of MAGA 2.0, let's say. We have to have gravitas. Now, I know some of the photo ops, these pretty smiling girls with the, let's say, Epstein file binders, was embarrassing. But look at the men versus the women. The women are smiling, heels up, head tilted, makeup and nails all did up. Ugh. If you're talking about the most prolific human trafficker in world history, you are not smiling. Look at Mike Cernovich, Jack Posobiec, the DC Drano character. They had gravitas. They had appropriate attire. They had appropriate expressions coming out of that meeting a few days ago at the White House. It turned out there was a photo op that was unintentional. Photographers ended up taking photos of a bunch of conservative influencers. And it was kind of humiliating for all of the MAGA babes. It just showed that some gravitas is needed. So even though the right is ascendant, we are the adults now. We are the decision makers. We all have to act like it. It's going to be harder. It's going to be easier for some of us than others. But the point is, when you are talking to a liberal, you tell yourself, Libby, this is a Libby. Maybe you don't say that, but when you're talking to other conservatives, other right-wing people, other Republicans, please use Libby's instead. I would like you to start using this. I'd like you to popularize this because it helps set the frame without you having to give a 5.5 freaking minute explanation of why you're doing that. Just start doing it. And it's simply by calling them Libby's, you instantly decrease their, let's say, agenda down to a 2-year-old who wants another cookie. And they're really loud and whiny about it. And that is effectively the liberal position. That's the resistance right now. A toddler-esque tantrum situation. And you don't let that guide decision making, but you don't also lock them up in the cupboard. You treat them like a human being, but the kind of human being that they actually are acting like. That's daily persuasion.